So you're uncertain about who you should be following back on Instagram. I know, because you guys have told me. So today I'm gonna tell you once and for all 3 questions you need to ask yourself before you follow somebody back on Instagram and when it's okay to unfollow. Let's go. Hey, I'm Katie here on YouTube. I love to share all my best tips and advice about social media marketing and creative entrepreneurship. First things first, you are never obligated to follow anybody back. This is something that I hear a lot from people, and it is a common beginner struggle. You feel like someone follows you, you feel like you owe it to them to follow back. Do not fall into this trap. You don't need to follow them back, and in fact, it could probably be a detriment to your account if you just start following back anybody and everybody who follows you, because chances are they might be just following you in hopes that you'll follow them back. So there's no need for you to do that. You need to follow people based on these following 3 strategies rather than whether or not they follow you. That part does not matter that much. And please, please don't feel obligated to follow back. You don't have to, ever. So step 1 in this process is do not follow everyone back. That is just gonna lead to a very low quality Instagram feed, and the algorithm is not gonna know what to do with you based on that activity. So don't follow everybody back. Now follow these steps. The first question you need to ask yourself before you follow somebody back on Instagram is this person my ideal follower? Now, yes, of course, they are following you, which is awesome, but that doesn't necessarily mean they are the kind of person that you're trying to attract to your community. It's totally fine if other people join in on the journey, but it's important that your business, your goal, your mission, whatever it is you're working on, has a very specific person that you are trying to serve, because this is going to help you grow everything a lot better. And when I mean everything, I mean your social media platforms, your paid offerings, anything to do with your business or your mission is going to just be a lot more refined when you have an ideal follower. So ask yourself, is this person my ideal follower? If yes, then continue to the next question. The second thing you want to ask yourself is this person potentially interested in my paid offerings? You know, I talk all the time about how important it is that your Instagram is not just an Instagram profile, but actually run like a business. Because if you're spending all this time in making such an awesome profile and thinking about strategy, creating good content, then obviously you're gonna wanna get paid for your effort at some point. So make sure you're thinking about this in a business mindset and considering if this person that you're gonna invest your time and engagement in might be a potential customer of yours. Now, it's very important that when you're asking yourself this question, you're not just thinking like, would they have the money? Could I maybe convince them to buy it? No. That's not what you want to think about. You want to think about, are your paid offerings something that could really help this person? Can you serve them better by doing your services or providing your products for them? That's what you need to know. Is your service, is your paid offering, whatever it looks like, going to benefit their life in some way? That is what you need to know, because we are not sleazy salesmen out here, okay? We're offering value, and we want that value to be received in a good way that feels good for both parties, and nobody's getting scammed here, okay? There's too much scamming going on the internet, so do not just ask yourself, oh, could this person be my next Mark? No. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about whether or not this person could really benefit from your paid offerings. And part of that is knowing whether or not they are at a stage in their journey where it makes sense to purchase from you. For example, like if you're offering an online course about how to make money as a wedding photographer, that's awesome, but maybe this person hasn't even got their first DSLR yet. They haven't even picked up a camera. So they're not at a stage where they're gonna be able to really engage with your high value paid offering stuff because they're not ready for it yet. And that's okay. Maybe they will follow you along in their whole journey and eventually get to the point where they can benefit from your paid offerings. And whether or not they're at the exact right moment to benefit from your paid offerings doesn't have to be make or break of whether you follow them, because maybe they are like your total ideal follower, but they're just not ready for your paid offerings yet. And that's okay. Maybe you still do want to follow back and nurture that relationship for the months and years to come until they're ready for the way you can truly serve them in your paid offerings. That is totally up to you based on how good of a fit you think this person is for your community. But I just think it's important when you're engaging with new followers that you have this mindset of, can I actually serve them better with my paid offerings, or are they the kind of person that they actually don't need it and maybe they'd be better served by somebody else or some other product or service? And it's so important for both of these steps that the entire time you're looking at this person's profile and you're comparing it to your ideal user, your ideal follower persona. So thinking about what's their age, where are they from, what are their hobbies, what's their attitude towards this or that, like whatever your persona looks like, use that as a template to compare it to these profiles and find out if this person is your ideal follower. If you want to learn more about creating an ideal follower persona and what all of that means, let me know in the comments, because that's something that I haven't made a video about yet, but I think it could be really useful to you guys. So let me know what you think about that. The third thing you need to ask yourself is this a follower that I have an established relationship with? Now, I know this is kind of an interesting way to think about it, because a lot of people think about following back at the stage where somebody is actually a brand new follower and that follow back button shows up in your notifications. But what I'm trying to say is that's maybe not the right time to make this decision. To be totally transparent with you, I end up following back my followers after I've had a few weeks to get to know them in my comments, after I've gotten a few responses to my Instagram stories. Once I've actually engaged with them and I start to recognize their name and I know what they're working towards, that's when I follow back, because I want to be a part of their journey and I want to make sure that I see what they're creating, and then I know that I can serve them better when I know what they're up to. So I am almost never following somebody back the instant they show up in my notifications as a new follower. That only ever happens if I come across somebody whose profile is so interesting that I'm like, oh, I actually want to learn from them too. Like, I want to see what they're posting, because I think I would just follow them if I came across their profile, whether or not they were following me. That is the circumstance under which I follow somebody back immediately. Otherwise, I am only following back people that I actually am building a relationship with over, days and weeks, and I start to get to know who they are. So I would recommend you have the same process. Don't feel like you need to follow back the instant somebody finds your account. Wait till you can actually build a relationship with them. This is going to help you with the previous two steps as well, because you'll know more about them so that you can answer, are they my ideal follower? Are they going to be ready for my paid offering sometimes in the next little while? And can I continue to build a relationship with them? You might not be able to discern that within the first 30 seconds of somebody following you. In fact, you probably won't. So that's why I encourage you to keep an eye on who your followers are, who's engaging with you. And when you have that established relationship, then you follow them back in order to keep that relationship and that bond growing. This is just a very different approach to following back than I think a lot of people are thinking about right now. A lot of people, especially who are new to Instagram, see that someone follows them and immediately tap that follow back button. And I would really discourage you from doing that unless, like I mentioned, you see their profile and you're like, dang, I would follow this person if I just heard about them or came across them on the Explore page or whatever. Then it's okay, go for it. But don't feel obligated to follow them back instantly. Maybe think about doing it once you've had some time to establish that relationship, see how they engage with your content, and then see if you want to reciprocate and really become involved in their journey. And really, once you do follow somebody back, it's because you want to keep engaging with them. You want to make sure that they keep seeing your content in their feed. You want to nurture that relationship and learn how you can serve them better, because it's all kind of part of market research as well, because you'll get to know who your ideal follower is even better by seeing their Instagram feed. Now, I want to talk about private accounts for a minute, because I always get questions when I talk about following back, engaging with your followers. What if my ideal follower has a private account? Great question. Here's what you're gonna do. Somebody new follows you. They have a private account. If, from what you can tell from their bio, their profile picture, any information you can glean from their username, if they seem like they might be your ideal follower, by comparing it to your persona, you're going to request to follow them. It's kind of taking a chance because you don't know for sure. You haven't been able to see their content, but you're going to request to follow them. If they approve your follow request, then you'll get to see what their content is. You'll get a chance to engage with them a little bit more. All of this is helped by the fact that if they are somebody who's really engaged with your content and you've been having conversation in DMs, they've been commenting on your stuff, then they're more likely to approve your follow request so that you can get that deeper relationship going. If you do follow them and they approve your follow request and very quickly you realize, this is not my ideal follower, this is some random stranger and I don't really understand why they're following me, no worries, just unfollow them. It's okay, no harm, no foul, just back away and go find somebody else to follow and engage with. And on that note, I wanna make a PSA right now for all of you Instagrammers out there, and this is what I need you to hear. It is okay to to unfollow someone. Somewhere along the way, we all got freaked out and feel like, oh, I can't unfollow someone. It is like the cardinal sin. It is the most rude thing I could possibly do is unfollow someone. Guess what? Most people are not gonna notice if you unfollow them. It's okay, they won't even know. And on the flip side of this, if you are the kind of person right now who is keeping track of who follows you and who unfollows you, no judgment, no shade, I just need you to stop right now, because you're taking up so much of your mental energy concerning yourself with who is exiting your audience, and therefore that is time that you can then not spend on people who are still part of it. You want to use your time and your energy to nurture those connections and build a community, and not fret over who is unfollowing you, because really it is not that big of a deal. For me, I see people unfollow me every day. Every time I make an Instagram post, I lose at least one follower. That is just life. That is Instagram. And you know what? I feel like you need to just have this attitude of, if somebody leaves, say, thank you so much for being a part of my community while you were. I appreciated your support and engagement while it lasted. And I hope that you have a good life out there in the world of Instagram. That is the attitude you need to have. Do not be bitter, do not be negative, because guess what? It really does not matter. And I would so much rather somebody unfollow me than keep unfollowing me and hate it every time they see one of my posts. Because trust me, we all have those people that were like, I should maybe unfollow them because I know that their stuff just makes me unhappy. Why would I want somebody to be unhappy or angry or whatever every time they see a photo of me? That's not nice. I would rather they just unfollow me. And I want you to have the same attitude too. So stop with the bitterness, stop with the petty, oh, they unfollowed me, so I better unfollow them. Stop. That is not worth your time at all. Spend your time engaging with your ideal followers, people you can serve with your paid offerings, and engage with them, comment with them, get to know their life. It is so much more worth your time than fretting over people unfollowing you. Just get over that. Now that I've given you that tough love and you know when it's time to follow back and when it's time to unfollow, you're gonna need to know the methods that you can use to engage with your existing audience to make them super loyal and maybe even more interested in investing in your paid offerings. Go ahead and check out this playlist all about how to increase your engagement. It's gonna be super useful for you. I'm sure these methods have helped me. They've helped tons of people make their audiences more engaged and active. So I can't wait for you to check that out. As always, thank you so much for watching this video, and I can't wait to see you over in this one. Okay, bye.